Just because you don't have any knowledge on it, it doesn't mean you can't do it. I am really, really nervous about what's gonna happen today. But I have one already cut a hole in. Today, this afternoon, the electrical inspector's coming out to look at it. I'm so nervous. The temperature is -5 right now. Oh, you're shivering a little bit. Oh, yes, you're shivering. You guys ready to go in, or are you gonna play a little bit more? I know what Daddy wants to do. Oh man, it is bright today. It's beautiful. This right here is good solar weather. If you're running solar panels. Oh. Hey guys, and welcome back to my off-grid shed to house cabin project. You can see that we've gotten a lot more snow. It just doesn't stop right now. And we're gonna be putting you to use today, aren't we? Turn it to low. All right. I just realized I forgot something. So I'm gonna let that heat up. I'll be right back. All right, I had to run back and get this bag. Eric went to the store a couple days ago and he bought me some more raw mix. Yay! So now we can get this finished. Whew. We got a few more things to finish up here. Give this video a thumbs up if you think it is taking way longer than it should. I would give it 2 thumbs up, definitely. But anyway, let's get working on this. I'm gonna tell you, this goes a lot better when your hands are not popsicles. So here's my power black. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed him into 3 of these. It's gonna take a little bit of work, but I think I can get it. My hands aren't too cold, so. I don't even want to twist them together. I don't know how this is gonna go. It's not beautiful, but it should be correct. Alright, so this is what we have now. I'm sure it doesn't look very pretty. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a pain in the butt to try and stuff in there nicely. Just because it is wire. But all the nuts are staying in with the wires. They're not popping out at all. This should be to code. So as far as the junction, we have our main power right here. So this line right here is our power line. This is what's going to power everything. So here's our black coming down, and this is basically splitting the black. So we have a black, and then it splits off to feed these 3 switches at the bottom. So the bottom always stays hot. The top one is the switch. So when it's up, it's giving power to the top, and when it's down, there's no power, right? All of the whites are wing nutted at the top because there's no white terminals on the switches. So that should be okay. Alright, so hallelujah, I got that done. I still have 2 switches, or I still have 2 outlets to do, and then I'm gonna get vacuuming. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire up the last 2 real quick. I have to install GFCI outlets at the beginning of every run. So this is the start of this run. The other start of my run is up there. I have a GFCI outlet, and I'm gonna swap this guy. This one's gonna move over there. And Eric bought me another one of these, and that's gonna go up there. Oh, this feels great. I didn't realize how cold I was until I got next to this heater. All right, so I'm gonna magically replace this to the power of magic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, these are not fun to put on. I now have the one up there to do. Wish me luck. All right, so we've got everybody wired in, and now it is time to get vacuuming. That took a good long while. This is the preliminary vacuum. It got most everything. Some of the wires I didn't really want to pick up, but that's okay. I can go through and pick them up by hand later. So, still a lot of stuff on the floor. Eventually that'll get picked up too, but at least I'm not stepping in all the sawdust. You're probably wondering why I was vacuuming the walls, and that is because when you spray foam, you gotta make sure it can adhere to the wall. And if it's covered in sawdust, well, it doesn't really want to stick to that too good. So I might go through with another vacuuming later, again when I'm all done, and clear everything out. But at least we have the majority of the bulk done. I'm kind of glad I have these videos, because once this whole thing is done, no one is going to believe me on what this looked like before. Nobody. You won't even believe me when you see it finally completed. I am enjoying this nice sunny weather. You can see the dogs have been enjoying the snow. Except for Ginger. You're not enjoying it, are you? You prefer the heat vent, don't you? You can pretty much tell how much Frenchie blood a dog has in them based on how much they like the snow. Whew. All right, so I didn't get to show you the full cleanup yesterday because I was out of battery power. Let me take this lens off. Woo! So what do you think of my lens? I got these little filter lenses for my GoPro. Pretty much they're for sunny weather. I'm not quite sure exactly how much of a difference they make. So you tell me, did you like it before? Did you like it after? And what do you think of it inside? Woo! Oh my goodness, I'm tracking snow everywhere. few more steps closer to having the electrical inspector come out. I'm not nervous. I'm actually really excited to be able to talk to him and figure out like how close I got it for my very first time wiring anything. It has been a learning experience, and you know what I've learned first and foremost is that if I can do this, you guys can do this too. Just because you don't have any knowledge on it, it doesn't mean you can't do it. You just sit down and take it slow and you'll figure it out. Or you'll burn your shed down. I'm just excited to see this whole thing come together. And, you know, once I get the electrical done and it's spray foamed, it's, oh, I'm so excited. You guys don't even know. You know, one thing that I realized is that I am getting older. No duh, right? But in your head, you always feel like you're just like a generic age. And I tend to forget how old I am until this year. It suddenly occurred to me, I am going to be turning 40 next year. Oh my gosh. That is like pit of the stomach feeling. Not because of the age, but more because like by the time I hit 40, I had expected myself to have certain goals done. Okay, so one of my goals, which was more of a dream, is this cabin right here. So this, I never actually had this as a goal. This was just a dream to someday have a dedicated writing cabin. And I'm still blown away that I'm actually getting this thing done, and just everything that's coming together to make this happen is just, when you guys see the stuff that's going in this cabin, oh, yeah, praise the Lord. He has provided so much just out of the blue for this cabin. The stuff that I've either gotten dirt cheap or for free. So definitely stay tuned for this cabin series. One of the other goals I had was to have a horse. I've got 2. So that's fine. Even though I don't have any time to ride them. It's okay. And my last goal, which was my biggest, most important goal, was to get one of my stories published. And I don't think it was just to get it published. I think it was to make the bestsellers list. I think that was my goal. So that's giving me extreme anxiety right now, because do you know how long it takes to get a book published? Like, even if you get an agency to accept it, it takes a long time. Can I get that done in a year? I don't know. I'm freaking out right now thinking about it. And I don't want to feel my 20-year-old self that had this goal in mind. I thought I was being conservative by saying, okay, 20 years from now, I should have this done. I should have no excuse. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Keep me in your prayers. I really appreciate it. It's another bright day. It's cold. I'm thankful it's gonna warm up in a couple of days here, but in the meantime, I am still gonna be stuck finishing this in the cold. But I have a confession to make. I am really, really nervous about what's gonna happen today. You can see that we've gotten a lot more snow. It just doesn't stop right now. Yeah, so today, it's gonna be a little exciting. We've got just a little bit more wiring to finish up. I gotta finish this up. I gotta put this thing on there. Which, if you go to research online how to install an exterior light on your house, you're gonna find like 10 different ways of installing it. And then you have to sit here and figure out which one is correct to code. Luckily, Eric's buddy Jason told me that this has to get put inside there, and that will be correct. My breaker box is gonna get moved, boop, over there. But today, jumping back to the situation. Today, this afternoon, the electrical inspector's coming out to look at it. I'm so nervous. I don't usually get nervous about stuff, but I'm like excited nervous. You know, it's like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be things that I'm gonna have to change because that's kind of how it goes. especially for a newbie, first time wiring person. So a lot of you guys had mentioned that my wiring wasn't correct, that I needed to pigtail everything. So I went through and I pigtailed the death out of everything. So now I've got like 4 wires going into every single one of those. You know, just to err on the side of caution, I went through and rewired all of this 3 times in the cold. Yeah, 3 times. Took everything apart, put it all back together, took it all apart, put it back together. So I guess that's why I'm so nervous, because I've put so much freezing effort into this that I'm really hoping that it's like really close to being done. Okay, I am like literally feeling sick to my stomach right now. Just like training. I don't like having stuff this close to the wire. The problem is that he's only out this direction a couple times a week. There's a good chance I'm not gonna pass. I know, I feel like I'm selling myself short, but I'm trying to be realistic. There's a good chance I won't pass. So I thought, well, if I'm not gonna pass anyway, I might as well have him out Tuesday, get it over and fail. And then he can come back on Thursday, because Thursday he has available too. But I really want to pass. I want to pass so bad. I worked so hard on this. So anyway, okay, don't make fun of my wiring box. It looks very awful and messy. But I have good reason. My battery's about to go dead. Okay, so here it is. I have, look, I added the extra ground bus right there, and I've got my 2 ground wires tucked in the back, and then I've got my 2 over here. These are my neutrals. Okay, yeah, and then I have my 2 black wires that are coming into each circuit breaker. All right, so, and I know that you're not supposed to have any wires touching this. This is the hot spot, so I'm not sure. I could cut my wires short and then feed them directly, but I was worried that if I had to change like ports on here or something, I wouldn't have enough space. So I left them long, just to err on the side of caution. So that's why it looks terrible. And it's so tight in there. You don't even know what I went through to try to get those little stinking ground wires onto those screws. It was a pain in the butt. Next, I'm gonna get working on that guy. I'm not excited about that. I was gonna show you working on that, and the awkward way of, I'm gonna have to drill that hole with a Sawzall, because I can't find Eric's multi-tool cutout thing. And yeah, so having panic attacks on that one now too. I have 1 hour to cut a hole. I mean, I can get that up, but I have 1 hour to cut a hole, and oh, that's definitely not looking correct at all. Oh, okay, freaking out, seriously, like major, like trying to get this thing done. So I use a combination technique that I've seen Eric use sometimes, where you use a drill and you drill a bunch of holes, and then you take the saws out and you just kind of use it to kind of punch it out. So that's what I did. You can see this is the inside of it. So unfortunately, yeah, it somehow left my hole like way too big. Eric finally found a video like last minute of a J-box, which is this same unit with a lip all the way around it. Now that would be perfect for what I need. Unfortunately, at the time, the hardware store didn't have that. This is all they had. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find somebody that carries that, or order it online or something, because that's really what I need. I don't know if this is gonna pass inspection. I mean, technically it should be okay. I've got it screws in there. I don't know if I have to use the nails too, but I mean, the screws, right? And then this is coming out. So hopefully if I explain like, look, this is just a temporary setup, I'm gonna switch that out. Hopefully the inspector will be like, oh, that's fine. But anyway, we are out of time. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I don't know if he is gonna let me videotape him going through everything, or if he's gonna prefer to do a synopsis at the end. He doesn't know he doesn't know anything about any of this. So I feel bad about putting him on the spot and asking him if he'd be willing to walk through everything on the cabin. If the weather were warmer, if it were much nicer, I would have no problem calling Jason down here or anybody else. Like, hey, you want to come out and help me on this? But when it's this cold, I really don't want to ask people to help because it's not fair. So I was going to show you too. I got this rewired. So this is my junction box. I know this has a lot of cable stuff on it. I might cut that back a little bit more. Yeah, you know, same story. Yes. Everything here is just, it's always a battle. So here's my wood that's going to go on this. And I'm just realizing something. I wish I had a bigger piece. So, I don't know how this is going to work. I think that 2x4 as far back there as I could. But the issue is that I still might have a conduit pipe coming out of my wood right there. And I'm not sure what to do about that. I just have to sit and wait. And wait.
Put that right in there.
Okay, so that
box will go there.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering.
So
I don't have the pipe in yet because it's out there. But as I was measuring this just today, I realized this is gonna have to change just a little bit because my wood walls, you know, to make sure that this comes out.
bring that out.
Yeah, so where it's at right now, the pipe is gonna be right in my wall.
Right.
So I gotta bump it back a little bit and remeasure that. But
The back should come down in the wall. Is that what
yeah,
you want?
yeah, because it's gonna be covered. It's not gonna be drywall. It's gonna be covered over in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As long as that's flush, you know what I mean?
Right, because you don't want that covered. And actually, I might raise it up a hair.
Or you can have it out on the wall, but
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind that, but then I'd have the pipe
then
out
your pipe would
too,
be on the outside.
which isn't the end of the world for me. But is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as it's pipe.
Okay.
Okay,
that-
so we got lights here.
Yeah, so those are the lights. I do have the lights if you want to look at those, but I don't obviously have them.
Lights.
Okay.
So you got more lights here, you got plugs. All your plugs are going to be GFI protected, right?
I have the. I thought
Got
it
one
was.
there.
Yeah, I've got one on each line, so I've got one at the start of that line,
Line load, that protects
and
the
then that's the start of the other line.
load. Okay.
So I've got two lines, two breakers.
And the rest are loaded off of those, right?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
because when I
Grounds
first.
are over there.
So is this okay? So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta explain. So when I went through and I did this, I had a lot of people freaking out because it was directly connected. It wasn't pigtailed.
Right, right, right.
And they're like, oh. So then I went through and I pigtailed, and I'm like, well, this seems
Actually, you
excessive
can take
pigtails.
just one of these off. You
Okay.
only need one because it's got a
The plate
jumper
there.
right there.
Okay.
And just take one. Okay, so you take one of these off on each one.
Okay. I just wanted to have my butt covered.
Same thing on these, okay?
Okay.
Just take one of those off. Because as
And
long
then
as we
it'll
hit
be fine.
one, as long as that tab ain't broke
Right.
off, you only need one wire going there. So then you only need one wire
Okay.
off your pigtail.
Same thing with
There,
everything
same
else.
thing. Okay.
I almost did it on the GFCI, but then I was like, aha! If I do that, then it'll bypass the GFCI. So I had to think on that one. And then does this look okay? Like this one was another one that had me. Oh,
Oops.
careful, sorry.
Alright. So you got your grounds, that's the main thing. Now,
Oh my gosh.
the only thing you want to make sure on these, you want to make sure these are nice and tight.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's what causes fires. Loose
Okay.
connections causes heat. So see
So
how that one's
straight-
kind of loose? Tighten
Okay.
that baby right up.
All right.
Good and tight.
So make sure they're not
Make sure your
moving
wire
around.
nuts are good and tight.
I will probably have my
Some will
husband.
feel pretty tight. This will be good.
Well, I was doing them in the cold, so sometimes your hands go numb. So I might have my husband when it warms up later this week twist them on a little bit
That's the
better.
biggest thing with electricity. Make sure your wire nuts are tight.
Okay.
And make sure your screws are tight.
Now, can I go through? Someone else suggested putting electrical tape around it to keep
Yeah,
everything
As
together.
long as you ain't got nothing hanging out, you know.
Okay.
You don't have to.
What else was I
You're
gonna
gonna
ask?
get rid of one of these wires anyway.
Yeah.
So, or one of these, so.
Okay. Shoot, what else was I gonna ask you? And this is fine like this. Like, I already had someone look at it. Like, these are gonna get tucked in.
Look at this here. So you're gonna come in.
I
You're
added.
gonna feed there.
Yeah.
Okay, you got your ground there.
Yep, I added that
You
in.
got your neutral.
Yeah.
Right there. So. Yeah.
And it's supposedly we'll have another breaker panel outside once they add the solar wind turbine setup.
Okay.
Because those usually have their own separate protection panels.
Yeah.
I didn't lock that down tight either in case I needed to move it, which also is why all the wires there, in case you wanted me to change something, I had extra wire.
Yeah. So you get your ground separated and neutral separated, so that's good.
So should I go through and shorten the wires, or are they fine like that?
You're fine. You want to tuck them in.
Okay. So this is looped out just in case, and I can just tuck that somewhere.
You just tuck that in the wall.
Yeah. It's easier to have extra wire than less wire, which I ran into that issue.
Any other questions?
I'm trying to think. I was figuring it would take a lot longer than this. Okay, so I put all my stud guards on. I measured everything, which I was trying to get it in the middle of the stud, and then I read that you gotta have the 1.25 inch, so.
Did you homework, didn't you?
I was trying, but I couldn't, like that was like the worst, because a lot of people just drill a hole. Yeah.
You pop that box in, them wings will catch on here, see?
Okay.
Box in it, no way to put your light on, it's nice and flush.
Okay, so here's a question. Like, I had, when I'm looking online, I see people.
Oops, that is sticky.
It's because it's cold. You might just have to, yeah. So they would drill just a hole through it, and then they would put, you know,
you could put
the metal brackets.
Metal box on there.
Oh no, it wasn't a box. It was just like the brackets, you know, that you screw to.
Oh yeah.
Is that code, or is that just like?
It's kind of janky.
Okay. It looks a little bit nicer because you don't have a giant hole, but.
Should have a box there, and then your light will cover that box. You know, cover the box up.
Okay.
But you use that box out there.
Okay, so let me go back over that again. I'm probably gonna get
So
confused.
you pull this board off.
Yeah.
Pull that box out. And you put this in there.
Okay.
Stuff your wire in there. And
Yep.
as you tighten these up, once you turn them, those turn, see? And they
Okay.
catch on the back.
So that turns on its own. I don't have to touch those.
Right.
Okay.
Sometimes when I take a drill, I'll hold this and I'll just start and run these in and out, because sometimes they'll kind of go
Okay.
crooked.
So maybe I
You just
should watch
gotta
a couple
give 'em an
tutorials online.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but that's all you do.
Okay, so that is the right one.
Yep.
So hopefully it'll cover my giant
That'll look a lot
mess.
nicer than that,
Yeah. Well, I was
for sure.
kind of stuck, but I wanted it to look
And you're feeding
mostly
it off the
finished.
house, right?
No, it's gonna be solar powered
Oh,
and
some solar power.
right. So that's why it's not connected. I did get this and then the curved tubing, but we got to get the rest of it figured out. But I do have an electrician guy coming out to kind of walk through some of the solar stuff with me. So yeah.
Good deal.
So, do you have anything you'd like to tell all the people who give me advice? This is my first
I'm going
time.
home to drink beer, so you did a good job.
Thank you. Thank you so
That was a
much.
good shuttle service. Too.
Well, I gotta take you back to your van now. Alright, so Eric is off and plowing. Actually, the deal we worked out was that I would plow and he would go to the store, because I hate going to the store, especially with the whole mask thing here. But he came home early and, you know, I guess he decided he wanted to plow. You can't really quite see her, but she looks beautiful in the sunlight. There he goes. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure where he's gonna put it. Yeah, so I feel really bad that the poor inspector guy couldn't get up the driveway because I hadn't plowed it yet. Honestly, I didn't know the driveway was that bad until I left to go to the hardware store really quick. And I'm like, oh shoot, I better get this plowed before the guy comes over. You know, sometimes that's just how it goes. So, let's take a look. Alright, so I'm gonna work on fixing this, which obviously that's what I ended up with, and that's just not quite right. Yeehaw! Look at that. There it is. Gosh, I am so relieved. Like, you don't even know how many times I was like ready to cry today just because I am just like, I don't know. I'm just relieved. Like, I put so much work into this. And yeah, so I don't even know what to say. I am just so happy, just relieved. And so thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned. We have the interview with Breakheart Orchard coming up, which you don't want to miss. High five. Boom. Give this video a thumbs up because that's what I got on the electrical inspection. Woo. Thanks, guys. Take care and stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Love you. Bye.